Hello everyone, Sheyla here, and today we have a solo Black Rock Depths Emperor run in tier 0.05. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into the video. So, we've got tier 0.05, the Thorium Brotherhood neck, and we've enchanted everything with stamina. I've been using this set. We got the cloak from Black Morass Exalted. Been using this set in PvP and in the open world because I'm main spec Holy, so I'm gonna not be able to do a lot of damage when I'm by myself. So it's good to have an additional set that lets me actually do damage out in the world and in battlegrounds and stuff like that. We got 6 Agi on the belt, 100 HP to legs and helm, 100 HP to chest, 9 stamina to wrists, 7 stamina to boots, 6 stam to neck, rings, both rings, to both 2 rings and a neck, so that's 18 stam total. The more stamina, the better. And we do an alright amount of damage. It's good for PvP because that's relative to the gear that's going on right now. However, I did notice that I'm very weak compared to my Norjanar runs because, you know, I've got tier 2, tier 3, so I just don't hit as hard. And we got somebody doing work beneath me, so if you hear clanking, that's workers doing work beneath me. But yeah, my armor is alright. We did end up taking the armor, I think it's toughness in Prot, the armor talent. But my damage is just, it's lackluster. So again, bread and butter, solo farming specs, spiritual focus, holy judgment, healing light just to increase our mileage from our holy lights and our flash of lights, unyielding faith to avoid stuns and fears, ironclad just to get a little bit more healing power, especially because we don't have the best gear, divine favor 4 out of 5, holy shock of course, and always blessed strikes 5 out of 5. This is going to be really important just to reset your holy shock. Without that, this is probably impossible. And there's that toughness I was talking about. We do take readout. Guardian's favor just in case I need to bubble myself, blessing of protection myself. We take sanctuary, having difficulty speaking just because I'm in a rush trying to keep up. And, you know, improve Hammer of Justice because we're alone. It's good to have stun quickly and Holy Shield. So, let's get right into it. So we're just going to run past everybody. And we're going to open this up. Oh, another huge thing. I did bring consumes. I brought 10, I think it's superior mana potions. Some salmon. I think I brought 4 stacks of salmon. I plan on being in here for about an hour. However, it didn't end up going quite the way I wanted it to go. And it's rush hour here, so you're going to hear some traffic too. It's a busy time right now. But yeah, I'm chilling. Just doing my best to get through, you know, the dungeon the way I normally do it. And I'm just not used to not doing that much damage. Like, the amount of damage I'm doing is something I'm going to have to get used to. So I do end up relying heavily on the consumes in Emperor's Room. Just because I start to get into some tricky situations. One was from a misplay, and another was just because I'm in tier 0.05. This is soloing Emperor is hard as is. It's hard when I'm in my tier 2.5, tier 2 set. It's incredibly difficult when you're in tier 0.05. So I wouldn't recommend this to most paladins. You got to be really comfortable playing paladin in order to make this work with such little gear. And it's really going to be a test. It's going to be a test of strength. Do you know how to do your rotations correctly? Are you up on your regeneration rotation? Are you up on your aura switching? Are you switching auras correctly? Are you up on your cooldown management? So it's going to be a really good way to hone your craft as a paladin. And if you can do this in tier 0.05, you can solo many other things. You can probably do, well, depending on gear, of course. I would not be able to do Strath Live right now in the gear I have. But you could do Lashers in this. You could do maybe ZG. You can do all sorts of dungeons. So you have options. But again, the more gear we get as time goes on, because Ambershire, we only have MC and Onyxia open right now, the easier this will be. And I do plan on getting tier 1, and I'll keep it holy. But once I start to get some tier 2 pieces, I plan on switching the tier 1 set to prot instead of holy, just so I can get in here and do my solo farms easier. Now you notice we go I was sort of like panicking a little bit. We ended up getting a fashion token, which is awesome. But I figured, you know what, we're okay. I'm in a decent enough spot. I don't need to mana pot. Now I wasn't intentionally saving my mana potions. However, I'm glad I did, because Emperor's Room proved to be incredibly difficult. Like, I really was not prepared. I knew it was going to be hard, but I didn't know it was going to be as hard as it was. Like, Emperor is usually pretty easy once you get Princess down. But you need decent damage to get Princess down, and I don't really have that great of damage. So, getting Princess down was really tough. And then once she was down, I had to sort of use my consumes wisely and use my regeneration rotation wisely and sort of get myself back to a good spot, just because I was so low on mana. So I'm not gonna lie to you, this is incredibly challenging, but it is possible. It's very possible. And I'm glad we're returning to this. Somebody in my other tutorial, they're like, do you think you could do this in tier 0.05? I was like, yeah, you could probably do it. And sure enough, you can do it, but it is difficult. It is really tough. I'm not even going to hold you. There's very little room for error here. You got to be up on top of your rotations and your aura switching. You'll notice we're in Fire Res Aura right now. Super good, especially when you take on these 3 packs here. And now look, I'm very little resources, but because I know my regeneration rotation and because I am good at pressing my buttons, I'm able to get myself back into a comfortable space here, so it works out. I do recommend, and you're going to want to switch your auras, of course, as I keep saying, but concentration aura is really going to be a boon here, because even if it takes you longer to kill things, being able to heal yourself without pushback is going to be important. You'll see in a few minutes or so, we're going to run into some issue with that spell pushback, just because I was in the wrong aura. I was sort of zoned out. I figured, I've gotten this far, piece of cake, I just have to do what I normally do. And it's like, well, you're weaker than you normally are. In the original video, I actually had less stamina than I had, but that was because I was in a damage set. I had about 270 spell power, something like that. And in this set, I think I have about 120. So I'm considerably less powerful in the set that I am currently using. I have more stamina, which gives me more time to heal myself, but it's going to take the time to kill enemies a lot greater. So I'm gonna be taking more damage just because enemies are gonna be staying up for longer. So it's a balancing act. It's doing these solo farms like this. It's like juggling. You're gonna want to make sure that you're staying on top of your mana, staying on top of your damage, which is the hard part, especially because we don't hit very hard. And then staying on top of your health. So if I were to prioritize those 3 things, mana first, health second, then damage. Because it doesn't matter how long it takes to kill something so long as you're alive. Like, the most important part is staying alive. If you stay on top of your management or your mana management, it's going to help you manage your health. And if you stay on top of your mana and your health management, it's going to, allow you to do damage. Because if you're dead, you do 0 damage. So we're going to take Magmus over here. Always back to the door. You have more room to move around. And while Magnus wasn't easy, he wasn't as hard as I thought he was going to be. So Lord Incideous was actually harder, just because he does that fire res debuff. He completely wipes all your fire res. Whereas Magmus, I can sit in fire res aura and I have the ring from MC that works like the ring of electrical binding. It escapes my mind because it's new, and I don't know the name of it by heart yet. But that ring has a decent amount of shadow and fire res. So I've got about 88 or 85 fire resistance. So that's really going to, you know, help me on Magmus here. And again, see, not too hard. This feels like a normal run over on Nordjanar with my tier 2.5, tier 2 split set. This feels good. So this sort of lulled me into a false sense of security. I was like, all right, we're back to a familiar ground. I feel like normal. Magmus is easy. I'm not really like having to pop my bubble or my lay on hands. I think I ended up lay on handsing in my other tutorial. So I actually did better on Magmus this time than I did the last. So I'm going to take this false sense of confidence into this next room, and you're going to see me make a huge mistake. So I'm going to shift my aura. Oh, first I'm going to mess with my my ranks because I noticed that I'm going a lot. So I'm like, you know what? Let me down rank Consecration. Let me down rank. Let me up rank Holy Light just because my Holy Light wasn't healing as much as I would like it to, and my Consecration was draining too much of my mana. So let me mess with my ranks. And these packs are it's super important that you save your Flash of Light for after they burst you, because they're going to burst you twice. See how my health keeps on like dropping like crazy? It's very, very important that you wait until they hit you initially. You're going to Flash of Light. You're going to Crusader Strike to reset your Flash of... Or not Flash of Light. I always mix up those two. Holy Shock. You're going to save your Crusader Strike to Holy Shock and keep healing yourself. So they're going to do a bunch of damage. You Holy Shock, Crusader Strike to reset, Holy Shock again. Now, I start in Concentration Aura here, and I do something stupid. I switch to Ret Aura. This was a mistake. So now I am not going to be pushback immune, and this is going to lead to a death. This is going to lead to a death in a few seconds here. So I start to take heavy damage, and I try to start spamming Holy Light in a regeneration rotation, and I start to get pushback. So that pushback ends up screwing me over. Now, it would have been smart if I just, you know, Holy Shock myself. Okay, so I Holy Shock myself. I'm popping Meditation because I'm starting to get nervous. I'm feeling like, okay, this is not going right. And if I had just switched back to Concentration Aura, I would have been fine. But you'll see I start to get pushed back on these Holy Lights, and it starts to go bad. So yep, here's me Holy, and I'm getting pushed back, and I'm thinking, should I lay on hands? I'm like, no, I want to save lay on hands for Emperor, and I go down. So yeah, we try again. This time we're gonna sit in Concentration Aura. When you're in Emp's room, it might be tempting to go Ret Aura for the little bit of extra damage, which is stupid. It's not enough to justify getting pushback on your heals. Just sit in Concentration Aura. It'll go so much smoother. Because this is hard. This is hard when you're in good gear. This is hard when you're in the gear I'm in. Just sit in Concentration Aura. Otherwise, you're going to regret it. You're going to have a very, very bad time. It's going to take you another 10 minutes to walk back and lava jump all over again. So just sit in Concentration Aura. Don't mess around with it like I did. That was a learning experience for me. I do not have the gear to be messing around with Ret Aura in this room. I'm still going to do it like I just switched. I'm still going to do it for whatever reason because, you know, I have this hubris. But just sit in Concentration Aura. See, I switched back. I learned my lesson. It's okay if you do those single Dragoons in the middle of the room. And I like to use those to regenerate mana. So what I'll do is I'll run up, I'll hit them, and then I'll purposefully take my time and just build mana off it so I don't have to drink. It just makes the run a little bit faster. Typically on Nord, I will do these in a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes if I'm killing extra mobs, just for extra Essences of Fire and extra greens. But this run ended up taking an hour and 15 minutes because I died. I think it probably would have took maybe 55 minutes to an hour had I not died. But because I died, it ended up taking an extra 10 minutes. So you don't want to die. Dying's not the end of the world. But the less you die, the more... the less time you spend doing this farm. Because this farm is fun. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a challenge. But it is cool. It's fun to do. You feel strong. You feel like you're that paladin. But it is super important that you come in correct. You bring some consumes, especially if you're in crappy gear like I am. Like, my gear is not crappy, especially for the stage we're in, for the what is it called? What do they call it? Phase. For the phase we're in, my gear is very good. But compared to what I'm used to on Nordinar, you know, tier 2.5, tier 2, I'm just not going to have the same amount of damage, especially because I ended up enchanting for stamina as opposed to spell power. So I'm about as half as powerful as I would be. I do have a bit of the sturdiness thanks to the stam and thanks to the armor, but I don't have that lethality. So it's gonna be a little bit more difficult. So these packs, it's super important. I recommend you kill the weaker targets first, but these what are they called? Guardsmen. These guys over on this side, they have a mortal strike and they have a pummel. So these guys, they're going to be really important to play wisely. Do not cast Holy Light unless you have hodged these guys. These guys need to be hodged, and then you can cast a Holy Light or a Flash of Light. But if you end up casting a Holy Light, they're going to Holy Lock you for 6 seconds, and you're probably going to go down. I've done this before in past runs. That's a really important thing you need to know. On that side there are, I forget the actual NPC name, but just on that side, on the other side, there's Dragoons, which you're fine. You can hard cast Holy Light all you want. But those guys on the right side, once you enter Emperor's Room, they're going to Mortal Strike you, and they're going to pummel you. The second you start casting, they'll pummel you. So you need to only use Crusader, your Holy Shock on yourself. And if you do use Holy Light or Flashlight, you need to make sure they're hodged first. Otherwise, you're going to get Holy Locked. You're going to take a bunch of damage, and you're probably going to die unless you T or you bubble. But unless you do those two things, they're going to kill you. So make sure you're careful on that specific side, the right side of the room. And it's your right or the east side when you enter Emperor's Room. You know, because right and left is relative. So be careful with those guys. But Dragoons are easy. You can hard cast Holy Light and you'll be fine. But those other guys, they got the Mortal Strike, they got Pummel. So you want to be careful. And when I died, I was on the Dragoon. So the smart thing of me would have been to kill the Senators and kill the Ambassadors, the Twilight Ambassadors, first, because they have 2k health each. There's no reason I have to take, you know, 5 or 6 mobs hitting me for like 100 damage when I can kill 3 of them in 30 seconds and then I'm taking half the damage. So me sitting on that Dragoon was another misplay. But again, I like to learn from my mistakes, and I did learn. Step 1, stay in concentration aura. Do not go to red aura. Step 2, kill the weaker targets first, just like in a dungeon, just like if you were in a 5-man group. But again, I don't know if it was because I felt so empowered because of Magmus and how easy he was compared to, you know, Insidious, that I was like, you know what, I'm just going to not pay attention and do my thing. No, you need to pay attention because this is considerably more challenging than doing it with good gear over on Nordinar. So take in some teas, take in some pots, take in some food buffs. Baked salmon works fine. And if you die, it's not the end of the world. It's just 10 minutes. You know, it's not too bad. But you don't want to spend 10 minutes walking back to your corpse. You want this to be a smooth thing, especially because this is going to take twice the amount of time, just because we don't have the damage that we do over on the other server. So you want to come in prepared. Like now that I've done this once, I know I'm probably going to want to take more tea with me. I'm probably going to want to take more pots. I might even think about getting priest buffed. I wouldn't flask because that's a waste of money. And you're spending, I don't know, 26 gold. Flasks are super cheap on Ambershire right now. Spending like 26 gold just to do a what I'd say this is about 45 to 55 gold an hour, farm. So there's no reason to do it. So I check the room. It's super important that you check the rooms to make sure you don't skip it back, because I've done that before and wiped. That sucks. And then I'm going to go to start beating up on the princess, and I'm taking a lot of damage, and I'm starting to get worried. I'm starting to be like, hey, my mana is really hard to manage with all this damage going out, and I don't feel like I'm doing enough damage on princess. Fortunately, I end up working it out. We do use a lot of tea and a lot of mana pots here, because I'm just like super nervous. I don't want to die again and have to run back again, so I'm starting to freak out, and I ended up popping lay on hands here because I'm not risking it. And if we can just get princess down, it's going to be a lot easier. But I run into an issue here. So my smart macro, my smart holy shock macro, when I use it on myself, which I've been, using it a lot on myself, because it's the easiest way for me to heal, it stops me from meleeing. So I have to remind myself to target Emperor again, because I'm not regenerating mana. And this falls apart when you stop regenerating mana. If you stop regenerating mana, that's when you die. When you cannot manage your mana any longer, you can't manage your damage, you can't manage your health. Mana is the critical resource that you need to manage when you're doing these solo runs. So my macro stopping me from auto-attacking is a huge detriment. I need to see if maybe I can go back in there and add a start attack thing to it, so it goes back to attacking the target that I'm targeting, because otherwise this is super risky, especially when princess is up, because I'm spamming holy shock on myself constantly, and it's stopping me from auto attacking. And without that auto attack, I don't regen my mana, because when you're in a regeneration rotation, not only do you have a Seal of Wisdom up on your target, you keep Seal of Wisdom up on yourself to regenerate lots and lots of mana. I was in a Skull the other day. We ended up pulling a boss. Everybody died except for me, and they just watched me solo the boss down. And the Warlock's like, how do you have infinite mana? That's so OP. That's hacks. And I'm just like, it's the regeneration rotation. I got tutorials on it. Check out Made by Sheyla on YouTube. I'm always plugging myself, because if not me, who else? But yeah, he couldn't get over the fact that like I could not run out of mana just because I had a strong grasp of the regeneration rotation. And we do get some touch and go moments here, but for the most part, we're okay. Emp is going down. There is, I think over here, I start to get a little bit nervous, because I get low on mana, and I get low on, I'm so low on mana. But again, I'm a high elf, so I have my racial, I got a bit of tea, and I got some mana potions, so we end up clawing our way back. But you're juggling your resources. It's about, how can I do damage while sustaining my mana, while sustaining my health? It's 1, 2, 3. Mana, health, damage. How do I balance the three in order to successfully solo my way through the content I want to solo through? And you can do this in what is it? I think it's Dry Whisker Gorge out in Winter Spring. You can do this in the Badlands. Maybe not the Badlands. They have like crazy amount of, those demons out in that gorge have a crazy amount of health. But you can do this in zones that you're not supposed to be in by yourself. That's how I walked to High Jaw my first time. But yeah, guys, we ended up getting Hodge on our first BRD solo run on Ambershire. And we got 2 fashion coins too. So yeah, that's the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Manage your mana. Get your stamina chance. Good luck with the tier 0.05 quest. It was brutal. I was in Skullomance for literally no shit 6 days. I did about 40 to 50 runs for that stupid helm, but hey, we made it work. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'll see you soon. Have a good day. Peace.